It's starting to build in me a theory of how unlucky this team is. And I'm not trying to blow smoke. Like, they have not performed and they have not been hitting for power, as evidenced by their isolated power statistic on Baseball Reference is a putrid like 0.95, like 0.095. It's terrible. It takes into account like all your extra base hits is what that statistic does, and it's terrible as a team. So there's definitely some like bad production, but you also have to look at this team and go, man, they are incredibly unlucky. And my case in point is this. Friday night I'm watching the game. Yeah, guys on second and third, one out. Scooble is cruising on the defensive side of the ball, but on the offensive side of the ball, you've actually got something cooking. Guys on second and third, one out. Jonathan Scope up to bat, hits a seed right at the third baseman who's standing on third base. Doubled him up. And I was just like, man, that is just incredibly unlucky. If you dive into the numbers a little bit, the team as a whole has a hard hit rate of about 35%, which is not great. Their batting average on balls in play, though, is about a 279, which is okay. A little bit unlucky, but they need to hit the ball harder. And I think that's proved by the fact that they are not hitting for extra bases. Add to the unluckiness. They have had all 5 starters in their rotation down on injury now. Eduardo Rodriguez, Casey Mize, Matt Manning, Michael Pineda. It's if you toe the rubber at Detroit, at Comerica Park, you are going down with an injury. And it's unlucky.
Yeah. Very much. You left out the biggest one with Scooball taking a shot right back at him when he's dealing. Like, it's absolutely unlucky. And it definitely plays a bit of a factor into this Tigers team, because how else do you explain the fact that there are literally 9 teams in baseball that have allowed fewer runs than the Detroit Tigers? That's it. 9 teams. So you figure the Tigers would be in the top 2 in the division with numbers like that. But just like you said before, with the other side, there is not a single team in baseball that has a worse offense than the Detroit Tigers, with 110 runs scored, the worst by a mile, including the Cincinnati Reds. It's bad offense, and we've talked about this, the plate appearances and the lack of hard hit balls and the methodology of how they're coming to the plate in the first place, and just lack of patience, lack of production, leaving runners in scoring position like crazy. It's just a mix of everything bad, including luck.
And there's a great article put out by Shea Brophy on Detroit Sports Nation, and he does this every week, a week in review, like Detroit Tigers by the numbers. And the numbers are brutal when you look at what they did last week. I encourage you to go and look at that article, because, to be honest with you, I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. But like, Javi was only 3 for 19 last week. Not great, not terrible. A little bit better than the 200 that he was hitting. But it's just entering the game Monday night with the Twins. They were at 40 games. And the old adage from the great and beloved Sparky Anderson is, you can tell what a team is after their first 40 games. And as much as I love Sparky Anderson, I'm going to disagree with that a little bit as far as this team is concerned. Because I take the Tommy Lasorda approach, which is, if you break the season down by thirds, 54 games, you're going to lose 54 games, you're going to win 54 games. And what makes you a good team or a bad team is what you do with the middle third of those 54 games. I don't think 40 games is a large enough sample size.
I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way.